Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Today marks World Radio Day under the theme Radio and Artificial Intelligence. For 2026, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO is encouraging broadcasters and audio creators worldwide to reflect on how artificial intelligence is reshaping radio production. And we'll explore that later in the program. We'll also take a look at how literacy is evolving in the digital era and much more. Stay with us. The news is coming up next.
Good day, I'm Jabertha Atkinson, and this is your JIS News for Friday, February 13, 2026. The government has tabled a $1.44 trillion budget for the 2026-2027 fiscal year, a nominal increase over the allocation for this fiscal year, which ends on March 31. The estimates of expenditure tabled in the House of Representatives by the Finance Minister yesterday includes $1.34 trillion for recurrent spending and $99.7 billion for capital projects. It includes $378.54 billion for debt servicing as part of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Services total recurrent allocation of $567.12 billion. The Finance Ministry has also been budgeted $37.9 billion under the capital budget. The most notable allocation from this is $35 billion for contingency provision, of which $30 billion is earmarked to commence implementation of projects related to Hurricane Melissa reconstruction and restoration. This contributes significantly to the more than $44 billion that has been added to the government's total capital budget when compared to the last revised estimates. Other significant capital allocations include $21.88 billion to the Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development, $13.82 billion to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and $11.22 billion to the new Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change. On the recurrent side, the Ministries of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Health and Wellness, and National Security have the highest budget allocations after the Finance Ministry. Meanwhile, for the first time, government has tabled its revenue measures for the new fiscal year the same time as the estimates of expenditure. It's a move that was called for by the Independent Fiscal Commission.
In the interest of full disclosure, and more importantly, in compliance with our very own law that was passed in this Parliament, and to enable the Independent Fiscal Commissioner to have full visibility into the budget figures in order to do the assessment as to whether the budget is credible or not, we are laying the revenue measures today.
8 new revenue measures have been announced by the Finance Minister to close the fiscal gap in the 2026-2027 budget. The measures, which are expected to generate approximately $29.44 billion, were announced against the backdrop of the unprecedented damage caused by Hurricane Melissa.
Against this background, Madam Speaker, expenditure containment and administrative improvements cannot close the emerging fiscal gap. It is therefore imperative that targeted revenue measures to strengthen revenue performance, safeguard fiscal sustainability, and ensure the government's continued ability to deliver essential public services are introduced.
The measures include a special consumption tax, SCT, on non-alcoholic sweetened beverages, which is expected to bring in $10.1 billion in earnings. The tax will apply to drinks containing added sugar or artificial sweeteners, whether locally produced or imported, at a rate of 2 cents per milliliter. The special consumption tax on alcohol will increase from $1,230 to $1,400 per liter of pure alcohol, while the SCT on cigarettes is to rise by $3 per stick, bringing the rate to $20 per stick. In addition, GCT will be applied to digital services and intangibles that are supplied from abroad but consumed locally. GCT will now also be payable on motor vehicles imported by public officials under the 20% duty concession arrangement effective April 1, 2026. The SCT exemption for these vehicles remains. And there is to be an increase in the GCT on specified tourism activities from the current 10% to the standard 15%, effective April 2027. Meanwhile, the Environmental Protection Levy will increase from 0.5% to 0.8%, alongside an expansion of the domestic tax base. And the government will continue the annual transfer of $11.4 billion from the National Housing Trust to the central government. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen has outlined a range of legislative and policy action focused on building forward, enhancing resilience, and expanding opportunity in the 2026-2027 legislative year. He was delivering the throne speech during yesterday's ceremonial opening of Parliament. For 2026-2027, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service will be prioritizing the implementation of procurement system reforms through the Public Procurement Commission and securing passage of the Customs Bill. National security and peace will focus on reform of the Corrections Act and review of public order legislation, with more progress expected for amendments to the Aliens Act, the Immigration Restriction Act, and the Firearms Act.
The execution of the government security program, Plan Secure Jamaica, continues to deliver strong results. Most notably is the significant decline in crime and violence, particularly murders and shootings. Legislative reform remains a key pillar to our national security agenda.
Constitutional reform toward a republic will continue to be a priority. The Justice Ministry will also be addressing judicial tenure and undertaking major amendments to the Sexual Offences and Offences Against the Person Acts, including introduction of new offences such as stalking. Under the umbrella of economic growth and infrastructure development, policies on squatter management, urban renewal, construction industry reform, and public rights-of-way governance will be prioritized. The Occupational Safety and Health Bill has progressed through multiple drafting stages, and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is expecting this to proceed to Parliament in 2026-2027.
Looking ahead, the government will advance unemployment insurance legislation through amendments to the National Insurance Act and related laws, the development of a national productivity measurement framework, and the creation of an occupational safety and health risk management toolkit.
Other legislative priorities for the government include completing consultations on the Jamaica Teaching Council Bill and updating school governance regulations under the Education Act. A Modern Forest Act is to be passed, along with amendments to the Wildlife Protection Act and advancing comprehensive climate change legislation, as well as a beach access and management policy. In addition, the Insolvency Partnership and Companies Acts are to be modernized, and a revised MSME policy is to be implemented. The government has already disbursed $2 billion under the Restoration of Owner and Occupant Family Shelter ROOFS program. ROOFS is part of the broader shelter recovery program that was established to help persons impacted by the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen announced the milestone during his throne speech.
Following Hurricane Melissa, the government executed one of the largest and fastest social response operations in Jamaica's history. More than 75,000 damage assessments were completed within the first 100 days, and over 90,000 by the first week of February, using the upgraded JHDINA Lite platform and a real-time national dashboard supported by over 700 committed volunteers, 400 of whom were from the MDAs and citizens volunteers.
And finally, a team from Jamaica, led by Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, leaves the island today for Kenya, where the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo will be held. The 3-day conference will be held at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi from February 16 to 18 to commemorate Tourism Resilience Day, which is February 17. The theme for the conference is Tourism Resilience in Action, from crisis response to impactful transformation.
A critical outcome of the day will be, of course, a call for resilience in the context of Africa and its tourism thrust. So we will be speaking, and I will be making a keynote address in relation to the call for resilience in Africa. Many nations, one Africa, an African tourism vision.
This will be the first time the Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo is being held outside of Jamaica since its inception. The conference is a partnership with Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, which was also developed here in Jamaica.
When we began talking about resilience in 2017, it was a word that people were wondering, what exactly is he talking about? And today, there isn't a word mentioned without resilience being attached to it, because that has become the password to sustainability. And so we are excited that Jamaica has led the way in this regard, and we're looking forward to continuing to build out the strength of tourism resilience across the globe as this great industry continues to serve the economies of the world.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Jabertha Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency, NLA, can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one agency, one goal.
Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Jamaica Magazine. Literacy in schools goes beyond reading and writing. It builds the foundation for academic success, critical thinking, communication, and lifelong learning. Technology is also strengthening literacy development by expanding how students read and write. In our next feature, we'll look at how this is taking shape in a couple of schools.
When you think of literacy, what comes to mind? For many, it may be the image of a child flipping through the pages of a book, reading line by line. But in today's digital age, literacy has taken a broader shape, one that blends the traditional practices of reading and writing with modern technology. Across Jamaica, schools are finding creative ways to help students navigate this new landscape. At Jesse Paul Primary School, literacy is more than just reading. It's about preparing students to thrive in a digital world. And so, teachers as well as administrators are redefining how children learn, building confident readers, thinkers, and content creators with the use of digital tools. A recent Literacy Day highlighted these outcomes.
Today, having learned the different modalities or method of using their devices to create informative content, we see them moving beyond this day, becoming more efficient at using their devices to creating content such as writing their own stories, sharing information with their friends, and because we understand that our students, they are very intimate with their devices. Another is that it enables the students to be content creators. So they create content such as being an author, being an illustrator, being a storyteller using their various devices.
Still, traditional practices remain a cornerstone.
At our grade 1 to 3, every afternoon after lunch, we ask that they drop everything and read. We also practice it at the upper school level as well. We have also introduced our library to our students last school year. So our students do have sessions with our librarian to assist in developing their literacy skills. And this year we have all grades currently creating an intervention plan for critical thinking. Writing is very important in literacy, and so it is also one of our focus areas this year to ensure that all our students are able to form their letters properly, write a proper sentence, and of course to create essays, letter writing, and so forth.
Through read aloud sessions, peer readings, and small group activities, Jessie Rapal is showing that literacy in the digital era is both innovative and inclusive. The literacy drive is just as strong at Franklin Town Primary School, where students start their day with reading exercises designed to sharpen their focus for learning.
What you will see is parallel between the two areas of literacy, the traditional and the digital. So there is always something for everybody, right? So we can pick up a book, you will see the children picking up books to read, you will see them looking at cards, and you will also see them using devices to access these same activities.
Students also get an opportunity to focus exclusively on literacy for an hour each day.
We put aside to teach our students explicitly about the reading, all the skills that they would need to grow. So we had that put away, we put on our activities, and the students seem to have responded very well. And it's a mixed approach. We incorporated digital as well as the traditional.
Now, the phonemes speaks about the sounds that the students would make and the letters that they would combine to give them a word. All right, so today we're looking at a lesson, a short A phonics lesson, which is the C for consonant, the V for vowel, and the C for consonant words. Now we do a little practice around here. We just warm up to get the sounds of the letter A. So we'd ask them what they are doing, and the child is taking a nap. Then sat. So we're just trying to get the sound out. So this is where the child would speak. So then now they would just look at this just to make the sounds. So when they see the letter A, they would say A, N, R, D, T, M, K, P, Sh, S.
With the school's intervention plan, literacy rates have jumped from 36 to 56%.
It works, and this year we're looking for even greater gains.
The literacy push does not end in the classroom. Parents are seen as vital partners in the effort to build lifelong readers.
Parents can assist with literacy by giving their child a device, one that will be monitored, and the activities curated, the apps that they use curated properly. So they pick those apps, whether it is for phonics, for comprehension, for reading, and outside of that, promote this literacy in your home by doing your reading calling them to read.
By blending home support with school-based strategies, the literacy movement aims to produce students who are not only functional in language, but also equipped to thrive in a world where traditional and digital literacy go hand in hand. The message from Jesse Rapal and Franklin Town is clear. Literacy in Jamaica is evolving. It's no longer confined to books or solely to devices, but lies in the careful balance between both.
Keep your heart beating strong. Your health is your wealth. Practice healthy habits. 30 minutes a day keeps heart disease away. Choose life.
Reggae Month is being celebrated under the theme Rhythms of Resilience, highlighting the strength, cultural endurance and recovery of Jamaica's creative community. In our next feature, we bring you highlights from the Reggae Month launch.
Every day I rise on a prayer. It's all I got to take me through, yeah. I know one day I must and I will, oh yeah. Free myself from everything that holds me captive.
We enter Reggae Month at a time when half our country is rebuilding from the devastating hurricane and when we see so much trouble in the world.
Amidst the wreckage and recovery work, the music must play on, especially given its instrumental role in offering space for reflection, resilience, and celebration.
Our reggae music is therapy. We turn to this music in the good and in the bad times. The rhythm and the lyrics provide relief and inspiration. And so for this Reggae Month especially, we are reaching out to our brothers and sisters in the West, in Western Jamaica, and to our family and friends across the world facing various crises, as well as all who mourn at this time.
Reggae Month includes long-standing traditions such as Thanksgiving service and tributes to icons like the late Dennis Brown, alongside signature events that honor the legacy of Bob Marley. The observance also creates a space for learning and growth, with platforms that support creative careers and industry development. And in Western Jamaica, the celebrations extend to young artists and local communities through initiatives like the Young Reggae Ambassadors Program, as well as community-based events including Waves, One Love Jerk Fest, and Mobile Reggae Nights. Supporting these efforts is a network of public and private partners.
Our commitment to reggae music extends beyond the events and the parties. We recognize the incredible talent within our music industry and its impact on our communities.
More reggae worship, more reggae worship again, more reggae worship.
At the Chase Fund, our mandate is to support education, arts and culture and health. Reggae Month, which falls within our arts and culture portfolio, is about celebrating our legends, nurturing emerging talents, and reminding us of the global impact of Jamaican music.
This year's celebrations, guided by the theme Rhythms of Resilience, feature more than 60 events across the island, led by cultural agencies, industry partners, and private promoters. Each year, the music is also presented in new and creative ways.
We try to present the music in a different way each year with one of the featured artists with the Reggae Month, with the Reggae Gold Orchestra, and that's going to be Luciana this year.
Singer Etana was announced as the first official Reggae Month ambassador.
I'm just proud, though, that the leaders of my country believe so much in the music that I create, and that they acknowledge the works that I have done over time. Now that it's overwhelming, and I'm grateful.
As Reggae Month continues, the music itself remains at the heart of the celebration.
Hear me when I say you're just like reggae. You hit me like a drum. You're just like play cards and I will strum. You're just like, yeah, sing out and I will come. Oh, reggae, you're the one. Pull it up, DJ.
This year's observance also marks 8 years since reggae was inscribed on UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List, and 10 years since Kingston was named a UNESCO Creative City of Music.
The message to Jamaica is that we have talented songwriters, artists. We have given the world music in reggae music. And we ourselves must celebrate what we have. We must celebrate those who have given us a music of which we can be proud and draw on it as an inspiration.
For the full schedule of events, persons can check out the Reggae Jamaica app, free for download on the App Store and Google Play.
People talk, that's what they do. They don't understand how me still a push and go through. Yes, they laugh. What they do? They call me names, but they just don't get it. Oh, them see me, I hold my head up just the same. When them see me, them just keep on. I mean, I see them, I just keep on walking. I got my pride. Me nah go show my bad side.
As mentioned earlier in the show, AI is reshaping how radio production is done. In the past, radio relied heavily on manual song selection, live call-ins, which still happen, and traditional studio production. Today, AI-powered tools can automate playlists, track listener preferences, and help ensure you hear your favorite tunes, allowing stations to respond faster and keep audiences engaged. For occasions like Valentine's Day, AI also makes it easier to send songs or messages to loved ones. Instead of calling and waiting to go on air, listeners can simply submit dedications through apps or online platforms. So, this Valentine's Day, try a radio dedication and see how it works for you. This is where we wrap up today's program, but only for today. I do hope you've been informed, inspired, and uplifted. Do join us again tomorrow for another engaging edition of Jamaica Magazine right here on this station. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the repeat and more stories at jis.gov.jm. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.